Getting started. That time of the day. Time to get your freedom on. You know, I wonder if Facebook's ever going to block me from playing this song in the background. Probably. Knowing them. They want to restrict, control what we see in here, right? Hey, I've been waiting for this time all day. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Super excited to be here, to go over this message with you today. It's not necessarily going to be my typical Your Credit Matters show, but it is going to be how to become free. And I wanted to start it off with this clip from the movie Braveheart. I don't know if you've ever saw this movie, but it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive movie. So let me hit play here so you guys can hear it. I'm going to move my microphone over there. Set up the scene. If you haven't seen this movie before, he's defeated the English army. The only person to ever do that. They capture him. They've just disemboweled him, which means they literally cut him open from his chest down to his crotch. They pulled out all of his guts, and then they cut off his reproductive parts. And they're asking, this priest is just saying to, basically say you're wrong. Admit that you're wrong, and if you admit to you're wrong, we'll just cut your head off. And really where that ties in, what I wanted to share with you is, since the beginning of time, people have been trying to control us. We got the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas, the Trumps, the Kennedys, the Nixons. I could just keep going on. Right? The kings, the queens, the Saudis, the Kim Jong-un, right? People have always tried to control other people, enslave them. And our government is no different. They want to enslave us. And today I want to talk about how you can get free. And so that's really what's going on here, is the government is trying to get him to admit that he was wrong. And here's how he reacts. Show everybody he ain't win. Pretty powerful scene, isn't it? Right? And here's his wife, who the government had murdered earlier, that started this whole thing. Everybody just standing by. That last guy's, his dad is the one that betrayed him. Everybody knows it's wrong, but the government gets their way. Pretty powerful, isn't it? And it's over. All right. What'd you think? Is that a little too dramatic for you? But here's the thing.
since the beginning of time, our governments, the people in power, have tried to control us. Try to control what we can see. Try to control what we can hear. Try to control what we learn. Try to control what we say, which is part of why our Constitution's written the way it is. The First Amendment, to eliminate the government's ability to control what we say. The Second Amendment is the ability to protect ourselves from the government. Everybody thinks the Second Amendment, or not everybody, there are people out there that think the Second Amendment had to do with hunting. No, it didn't. It had to do with the fact that the English tyranny that our founding fathers wanted to make sure that never happened again. Because armed people can fight the government. Now, this is not a Second Amendment thing. I'm just going, that's First and Second Amendment. First Amendment, right to free speech. Second Amendment, right to defend yourself from tyranny, from corrupt politicians. And if you watch the news lately, there's been some cases that come out where the judges come out and said, the government's wrong. The FBI's wrong. They lied. The Obama administration lied. They killed people, and the Obama administration covered up. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that. You can figure it out, what I'm talking about. But I want to go over how you can become free. Because the Obamas, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Nixons, the Carters, the Trumps, they don't want us to be free. The Zuckerbergs, they don't want us to be free. Do you know Zuckerberg literally controls what you can see and what you can post on Facebook? Right here, on this platform right now. He censors it. If he doesn't agree with you, he hides it. He blocks it. He bans it. I want you to be free. The government wants you to be in debt. They want you broke. They want you numb and dumb. Because if you're in debt, if you don't have an option, if you go to college and you leave with $200,000 in debt, you don't really have an option. You got to get a job. You have to pay taxes. Let me ask you something. Honestly think about what I'm getting ready to ask you and answer it honestly for me. If you had no debt, zero debt, would you be working at the place that you're working at right now? Would your profession be the same as it is right now? If you had zero debt, would you stay in the same area? Right? Would you stay at the same job? Maybe it's a good job. Maybe it's not a dead-end job. You know, not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur. It's hard being an entrepreneur. Stressful. Right? But there's nothing wrong with having a job. But the job that you have right now, would you stay there? Let's do this. Give me a thumbs up just to get an idea. Give me a thumbs up if you had no debt. Would you leave your current job? Would you leave your current county, your current city, your current state? If you had no debt, would you leave? Give me a thumbs up if you would leave. I wouldn't. I'd keep doing the same thing I'm doing because I have no debt. I love what I'm doing. I'm excited for what I do. I think most of you probably would leave, right? So how do you become free? How do you get those options to where you can leave? Leave that city, leave that state. Right? Cindy says she loves what she does. And that's awesome. But it's just, would you continue to do it? And I want you to be free. The first thing we got to do to get you free is we got to get your credit fixed. We got to increase that credit score. And you know how to do that. Get in touch with me and we'll get your credit fixed. You need to have at least 3 credit cards open at all times. You got to use those credit cards all the time, right? You got to get a side hustle, like Tracy just says. Got to get your side hustle going on. Get a second job. Create a business. Join an MLM. There's some really good MLMs out there. World Financial Group is a great MLM. Life Leadership is a great MLM. Personally, I would stay away from lotion, potions, and pills. Stay away from commodities. Lotion, potions, and pills. Stay away from them. If you're going to do an MLM, do something that can't just be replaced. Life leadership, that it's all about education and becoming a leader. You can't replace it because they don't have Orrin and Chris, or no one else has them. World Financial Group, you can't replace that, right? You can't just create your own. Amazon's not doing it. So you want to find if you're going to do the MLM route to create your business, you can be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. That's the nice thing with MLMs is you don't have to have all of that stress of payroll, of taxes, of marketing, merchant accounts. You don't have to worry about that. But you can be an entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur, because you didn't create the company, but you're working inside the company and you essentially have your own business. So you get the tax benefits that business owners get. I don't know why my head just got all congested. I apologize. So how do you get free? Well, you're going to fix your credit. You're going to increase your credit score by managing it the right way. You are going to eliminate your consumer debt. How do you eliminate your consumer debt? If you're in debt up to your eyeballs, if you got at least $15,000 in credit card debt, I can help you get rid of the credit card debt. Just reach out to me and we'll get you taken care of. Anything over $15,000, we can hook you up and get rid of that debt. If you're below $15,000, then what you want to do is you want to take your smallest debt that you have. The smallest debt that you have, not the highest interest rate, but the smallest debt. And you want to put all of your extra payments towards that one debt. So stop making extra payments on everything. Some people do $5 a month extra on all their accounts. Don't do that. Pay minimums on everything. Take all the extra money and put it on the one debt, the smallest debt. You don't care about interest rates. All the extra money goes on that. And once that's paid off, you take that amount of money you were paying and you put it on the next smallest debt. It's called the snowball effect. And as that snowball rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger, and eventually it's going to wipe out your debt. Consumer debt. I'm not talking about your mortgage. I'm talking about consumer debt. Student loans, car loans, credit cards, collections, medical bills, mother, brother, sister, father-in-law, and loans. All right? That's the first step. So first step is increase your credit score. Get your credit fixed if you need to. Eliminate your credit card debts. Eliminate your consumer debt. I want to share this book with you. This is Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant. This is a must-read. A must-read for anybody wanting to be an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur. You gotta understand this book. There's 4 ways to make money in the world. There's only 4 ways. You make money either out of one of these areas or all 4. But there is not a 5th or 6th or 7th way. There's only 4 ways. And I'll go over that. First, if you like the video, if you like the content, please share it with a friend. Share it with a friend. Hashtag Fortress Credit Pro if you could. And you'll be entered into our daily silver giveaway. Today is Freedom Friday. Every Friday I'm going to do a Freedom Live on how to get free. Today I'm just laying down the groundwork. But for that, we're going to give away 2 Freedom Coins from people that shared the video yesterday and followed the instructions. So if you want to get a chance of winning a coin on Monday, if I do a video, if I don't do a video this weekend, otherwise it'll be tomorrow. To win some silver, share the video, tag a friend, hashtag Fortress Credit Pro, and we'll get you in the drawing to win a Freedom Coin. All right. The 2 people that won from yesterday's sharing is Mark and Mary Osborne. Mark and Mary Osborne. And I forgot the other lady's name. Fraser. I think that's it. Jason will put it in there on who won. I think it was you, Amy, that won. Is that right, Jason? It was Amy that just got on. Amy Flazier. Amy Flazier won a Freedom coin. We're going to send that out to her, and Mark Osborne won one as well. Amy, yes, that you won a coin. So we're going to send you a coin for sharing the video yesterday. I appreciate it. All right, let's go over this cash flow quadrant. And David, or not David, Jason, if you'll upload this when you get a chance so people have it. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, cash flow quadrant, and it's Robert Kiyosaki. Let me adjust my camera so I don't have to keep holding it here. I had to adjust it earlier because of the video. This silly thing. All right. So let's talk about this cash flow quadrant. Cash Flow Quadrant is one of the best books I've ever read. And, you know, it's a New York Times best-selling book for a long time, written by Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter, who's a very talented CPA. And it talks about the 4 ways to make money. There's only 4, not 5, not 6. 4. Anybody disagree that there's only 4 ways to make money? E. E stands for employee, right? Employee. So maybe that's you. Are you an employee of someone else? If so, that's where you make your money, in this quadrant. And you can make money in all 4 quadrants. That's okay. But the ES side, that's where 90% of people are. 90%, and he talks about Americans, but it's actually worldwide. 90% of people are on this side of the graph. 10% are over here, business owner, investor. 90%, 10%. But it's 90% of the people are employees and specialists, but they only make 10% of the money. Business owners, investors are only 10% of the population, but they make 90% of the money. You see the difference? What side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side that gets 10% of the profit, or the side that has 90% of the profit? I want to be on the side that has less competition, because only 10% of the people are here, and more of the profit. So I want to help you go from this side to that side. So we're going to move you from employee side or specialist side to the business owner and the investor side. And you can be all 4 at the same time. So, and there's nothing wrong with any of these quadrants. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. But just know that's where 90% of the people are. That's only 10% of the money. If you look at odds, you want to be where there's less competition and more money. Then we have the S side. A lot of people think the S stands for self-employed. It doesn't. It stands for specialist, which oftentimes are self-employed. Doctor, attorney, mechanic, plumber, contractor, right? They're specialists. Maybe a coach. You can be an employee. You can make a lot of money as an employee. You know, NFL, CEOs, school teachers, if you live in California. There's all kind of ways you can make a lot of money as an employee, but that's where most people are, and that's where all the competition is. Specialists, not as many. Less competition, more money. But what do these 2 categories have in common? Other than the fact that they are on the side where there's less money and more competition. What they have in common is they trade time for money. Jared, so you brought that up, Tracy. Jared is an employee. That's not where he's making his killing, though. He's not making all that money. Yes, is he making great money working for Uncle G? Yes. An insane amount of money. I personally know how much money he makes, but I'm not at liberty to say. Yes, is he making a lot of money as an employee? Yeah, he is. Where is he becoming wealthy at? It ain't here. It's down here. Let me see if I can open up this. Here's another side of it. The ESBI, right? You see it there? That's where most people are. 90% are E's. And S is a specialist. Doctors, attorneys, engineers, if they work for themselves. Or if they work for, if they work for another. You can be a doctor and be a specialist and be an employee and a specialist in the same field. These are generally 1099 people that are self-employed. That means they have a job, all right? What these guys have in common is they're trading time for money. That's what employees do. You get paid $15 an hour, right? $20 an hour, $50 an hour. If you are a doctor, if you're not a business owner that owns a practice, but you're a doctor, either an employee or a specialist, what happens if you don't go to work? Do you get paid? If you're a plumber, a contractor, a dog watcher, dog sitter, if you are on this side, and you can be a specialist like I talked the other day. If you want to start your own business, become a dog sitter. That's a specialist. They specialize in watching dogs. But you're trading time. There's only so much time in a day that you can trade for dollars. The more skilled you are, the more money you can make. 90% of the people are on this side, 10% of the money. 10% of the people, 90% of the money. So B stands for business owner. Now, a lot of MLMs out there will tell you to join their MLM so you can be on the B side. But they're not business owners. They're down here. They're under the specialist side. Because if they don't go out and show the plan every single day, they don't make any money. So they're still on the S side of the quadrant until their business is so big that they don't have to go to work every day, which is extremely rare. They almost always have to keep going to work.
You're so vain. I guess you think this.
Oh, cool.
There's a page about you.
Look at this.
Wait, look at this. Hey, Clint Arthur! Woohoo!
This is awesome.
I have Clint's New York address now. I'm going to be sending him a thank you card.
Just got this in the mail. Speaking Game by Clint Arthur, hardback. I think this is his first hardcover. This is so awesome.
But the page
And then-
is probably marked. Look at that!
Boom.
He
Look at this.
autographed it for you.
This is super cool. It says, Rondi, you're a great man, and I'm very proud to call you my friend, Clint Arthur. Look how cool that is.
You're in the book.
And I'm in the book.
There you go. Show
What
that
this book is it's called The Speaking Game. And
I gotta go type
he
it
has-
with Clint.
let's see how many speakers are in here. He wrote this book, and it's all of what he considers the best speakers on the planet. And I'm right next to Zig Ziglar. That is so freaking cool. Look at that. There's me speaking at Harvard, and there's Zig. Grant Cardone's in here. Tony Robbins is in here. I'm going to do a whole different thing on this one. So, anyway, that's a great honor. Thank you so much, Clint, for that. It's awesome. Can't wait to read it. Back to become a better speaker. But back to the ESBI. A lot of MLMs will teach you that when you join an MLM that you're on the B side. You're not. You're still on the specialist side. And most of the time you're still an E and an S. So you still have your day job. You never quit your day job. You're working as a specialist. And eventually you'll go over to the B side. Now, B, a business owner. I want to break that down, what it means to be a business owner according to the cash flow quadrant. There are a lot of people out there that say they own their own business. A lot of MLM people say they're their own business owner, but they're not. They own the business, but the business owns them. If they don't go out and show the plan every day, if they don't go out and clean those toilets, if they don't go out and watch those dogs, money's not coming in. It's not a real business yet. A business is when you can leave and the business keeps going. If you buy a franchise, maybe you bought a McDonald's franchise, do you have to be there every day for money to keep coming in? No. Should you be there? Should you manage it? Yes, of course you should. But do you have to be there every day? No. A true business owner, B, is someone who can leave and the money keeps coming in whether they're there or not. That's a true business. Can you get there eventually with an MLM? Yes, but it's not a fast thing. It takes a long, long time. Can you get there if you're a contractor? Yes, you can. I know lots of contractors that are on the B side. Lots of people. But you got to work that way. Most people are stuck over here on the E and S, and they're trading time for money. Think about it this way. If we got stranded on an island, and the mayor, whoever we assigned to be the mayor of the island, come and said, hey, we had a town meeting on the island, says we need to get some water because it's so far away, and we're going to stay down here by the beach, but the water's up in the mountains. The employee would say, okay, give me $15 an hour. Give me 15 clams an hour. Because there's probably no money on the island, right? So it's 15 of something. There's something coming in. So he is going to work 8 hours a day trading, carrying buckets, right? Trading time for money. That's an E, an employee. Nothing wrong with it. That's just what they're doing. They're trading time for money. That's what we're taught from a very young age. Go to school. Get good grades. Go to college. Get good grades. Get a job. Retire. It ain't ever going to happen. It ain't ever going to happen. That's an E, trading time for money, carrying buckets. An S is a specialist. They go out and they say, wait a minute, I'm going to go get me a bunch of E's. I'm going to pay them 15 clams an hour. They're going to carry buckets. I'm going to charge the city or the island $20 an hour, and I'm going to make $5 or 5 clams per employee that's carrying them. But it's not real business because he's still got to manage them. He's got to make sure they're there. If they're not there, he's got to carry buckets, so he's still trading time for money. A business owner is someone who goes and through the I. So we have employee, specialist, business owner, investor. See, the business owner maybe is an investor at the same time. Business owner goes out and finds a bank who's the investor, says, I want to build a pipeline. I want to build a business. And I need the money, where he goes into debt. This is a business debt. It's okay to be in debt. You don't want consumer debt. It's okay to go into debt if you're going to make money with it. So he goes to an investor and he gets money. And he starts building a business. Does that cash flow immediately? No. And that's why most people quit. You know, I found a Fortress Credit Pro 10 years ago. November 3rd, 2007, on my birthday. 10 years ago. I didn't make any money. I made no money. Do you know the first 4 years of Fortress, 100% of the money went back into the business. The first 4 years, I didn't have a house of my own. I moved from foreclosure to foreclosure to foreclosure to foreclosure. Sometimes I was only there for 10 days. Sometimes I was there for a few months. I had no vehicle, by the way. Did you know that? For a lot of that time. I had a 1996 moving van with over 200,000 miles, shattered windshield. You know, the big yellow Ryder vans? I bought one of those for like $1,500. Had enough room in the back that I could actually sleep in it. I had to take showers at 24 Hour Fitness because the foreclosures I was living in didn't have running water. They didn't have electricity. I was squatting. I squatted for 4 years. So did Michelle. Michelle squatted with me 2 of the 4 years. And then I made a little bit of money, but not very much money. It's not until recently that money started coming in. So for 10 years, I didn't make any money at it. That's the business side. I can leave today and still have the money come in. But if I stay, I can grow it, right? But that's a business, is when you can leave. Now, the investor is someone that makes their money from investing. It's not a 401k. It's not an employee who puts money in a 401k. Grant Cardone is an employee of Cardone Capital and Cardone University, of his company, right? He's an employee because you have to be an employee. Legally, you have to be a W-2 employee if you own the company. He's a specialist. He's a specialist in sales training and in buying real estate. He owns several businesses that if something happened to Grant, he'd be fine. And then he invests the leftover money. If Cardone University was completely wiped out, let's say that Donald Trump decides through Twitter that all sales trainers, that it's now illegal, you can no longer train someone how to do sales. Far-fetched, I know. But there's been stranger things that the government's done. But let's say the government comes in and says, okay, no more sales trainer, you guys are wiped out. Will Uncle G be okay? Yeah, he will, because he has several businesses, but where he makes most of his money is the investing side. He buys multi-family apartment complexes. He takes his money from his job, from being a specialist and a business, and he puts it into this one. That's where the real money is. Now, according to the IRS, these are people that have an income of $250,000 a year or more. They have over $1 million in net worth, and they have cash. Those are investors. They're called accredited investors. This is not somebody doing Bitcoin. This is someone who makes their money from investing. Who can you think of that makes a lot of money from investing? Who do you think? Give me a couple names. Who out there makes a ton of money other than G? Who do you know that makes a ton of money from investing? Anybody? Anybody there? Buffett. The buffet. He does. Some people say that he's the world's greatest investor. He's not, but people say he is. Warren Buffett is a great investor, and he makes a ton of money on the I side. But he's not the greatest. I think I read recently that he's averaged 22% in his lifetime, his career. That's pretty damn good, right? 22%. But there's another guy that you've never heard of that's averaged 38% his entire career. 38%. Buffett's down here. Investor. Grant Cardone's down here. And there's many, many more. A-Rod. I just learned this the other day from my friend Brad Lee. A-Rod has over 19... Did he tell me 19 or 15? I think he told me 19,000. It's either 15,000 doors, apartment complexes, or it's 19,000. Either way, it's a lot. No, it's 19,000. He has 19,000 apartments, doors, and 1,500 gyms. The dude is net worth is hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, well on his way to becoming a billionaire. And it's not from baseball. Baseball was over here. He was a specialist, right? Where he's making his money is the business side and the investing side. Yeah, he made a lot of money playing baseball. He was a specialist. But there's lots of people in the NBA, in baseball, hockey, football. They make a lot of money. Do you know 80% of all NBA players are bankrupt within 2 years of retiring? 80%. 70% of all football players, 2 years, bankrupt. Because they're specialists. They need to get over here, business owners. Where is A-Rod making his money? He owns 1,500 gyms, and he owns businesses that buy apartment complexes and invest. Now, everybody thinks that Warren makes his money from being an investor. But Warren doesn't buy stocks and bonds. Did you know that? What does Warren do different than anybody else? Do you guys know? How does Warren really make his money? Do you think it's stocks and bonds? Do you think that's really what he's doing? This is what the insurance salesmen, the stockbrokers, the money market guys, the mutual fund guys will tell you that Warren Buffett makes his money from investing. He doesn't. That's not what Warren does. Does anybody on here know what Warren actually does? Tracy Ann Ross knows. He buys businesses. That's what he does. He finds a business and then he goes in and buys it. That's how he got Berkshire Hathaway. Or Berkshire. He pronounces it Berkshire. That's how he got Berkshire. Do you know the story on that? He went, had a bunch of stocks, went to sell them. The guy told him a certain price. Then the guy lied and tried cheating him out of a few $1,000s. So what's Warren do? Now he's pissed because the guy tried to cheat him. And it wasn't a lot of money. It really wasn't. Warren went and bought, just secretly started buying all these shares. Next thing you know, he owns Berkshire or Berkshire Hathaway because the dude tried to rip him off. Right? But that's how Warren makes his money, is he buys the businesses and then he invests. If you want to get rich, if you want to become free, you got to get your credit. You got to get your credit right. That's number one. If you got bad credit, reach out to me. We'll hook you up. We're the only, now there's companies copying us, but we are America's first paid on results company. Paid on performance. We're paid for the results. Similar to a real estate agent, a mortgage broker. If you list your house for sale, they don't get a bunch of money, right? It's not until after they sell the house they make their money. They get paid on results. Thank you, Anthony, for that kind comment. I appreciate that. I really do. So I started America's first paid on performance or paid for results credit repair company. Thank you, Tracy. So if you got bad credit, we can hook you up. We'll fix it. Okay. If you got credit card debt above $15,000, we'll hook you up on that. We'll wipe it out. We charge 45%. You can pay that over 3 years. I got a guy today, hired me, almost $100,000 in debt. His minimum payments were $2,500 a month. $2,500 a month. 100 grand. 2,500. I met him 10 years ago. About 4 years ago, we fixed his credit, and then he got a little crazy. He didn't get crazy. He started a business. Then he found out about my debt dismissal program. He's like, damn, you're going to wipe out 55% of the debt and 100% of the interest? Let's do it. So he just hired me today, $100,000, almost 100 grand. His payment's going from $2,500 a month to $700 a month. We're wiping out all of the interest, 55% of the principal. So if you got credit card debt, get your credit fixed. Get your credit card debt fixed. Get 3 credit cards, like Tracy said. Thanks for keeping me on track. Get 3 credit cards because you need 3 credit cards in order to have great credit. If you got bad credit, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard, my friend, to become free. Truly free. There's 3 things. You can be financially free, which means that you have more cash coming in, cash flow from other things, not your job. Maybe it is your job. Financially free, you have more money coming in than money going out. You're financially free. Then there's rich. You see a lot of these people on Instagram. You see a lot of these people on Facebook flaunting their richness. Their new cars, their Ferraris, their Lamborghinis. They're all leased. They don't own them. They're renting them. They're even... I got a guy that I know. Every time we go see him, he's got a different girl. Like if we see him on Friday, he's got one girl, rents her. Saturday, rents a new girl. Sunday, rents a new girl. Rents everything. If it flies, floats, or you know what, it's cheaper to rent it, right? But I digress. But you see these guys on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. They're rich. They're the... I just forgot his name. It'll come to me. He's a B actor. He's in horrible movies now. But he was rich, and then he lost everything. He lost his houses, he lost his boats, he lost his planes, because everything was rented. He was leasing. Nicolas Cage. That's what I'm thinking of. He was rich. Then there's wealthy. Wealthy is the Grant Cardones, the A-Rods, the Tony Robbins, the Warren Buffetts. They're the people that if their business was wiped out today, they have enough money coming in, they couldn't spend it. Look at G. Just bought a $50 to $60 million jet. Now, most likely, he's got a loan on it. Knowing him, he's got a loan. I doubt he paid cash because that would just be stupid. Why would you pay $50 million for a jet when you can finance it and take the $50 million and go buy a $150 million apartment complex, which brings in $3 to $5 million a year in income, which easily covers the payment on the jet, right? So he's using debt the right way. But if you want to become free, fix your credit, fix your consumer debt. If you want to become rich, you need to start your own business, whether it's an MLM, whether it's a dog sitting business, whether it's a credit repair business, whatever you got to do. You got to start your own business. On the MLM, stay away from the lotions, the potions, and the pills. What am I talking about? Lotion, potion, pills. Well, I can think of one right now. Prove It. Prove It is a lotion, potion, pill company. They sell potions to help you lose weight. Does it work? Yes, it works. Works fabulously. The only problem is if you order it, it takes a month to get it, and it's a problem. Like I want some right now. Getting ready to go on a cruise. I want some, but I won't have it in a week. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to get that stuff. I should have planned a month ago. How long do you think that business is going to be around? Not very long, because someone else, and I've already seen them on Facebook, someone else is already creating new ones. You can buy it on Amazon, and you get it in 2 days. Right? So you want to stay away from these lotion, potions, and pills. What's another company? A lotion would be like Mary Kay, Amway, Melaleuca. Lotions, potions, and pills. Stay away from them. Right? There's only so much laundry soap somebody needs. Now, can you make money? Yes. Do I like them? No. I don't like lotion, potions, and pills because Amazon will eventually put them out of business. So if you're going to get involved in MLM, find something that is not a commodity. If you want to do the entrepreneur thing, start your own business, but you got to be prepared. 10 years. Nerium. I think Nerium is another lotion, potion, and pills, right, Rashawn? You know there's another MLM that's hitting pretty hard right now. I had someone text me on it today, and I don't know if she's watching, but she she was not very happy because she said, should I invest? Blah, and it was like a book long, and I just responded with never invest in something you don't completely understand. And I was being honest, right? I wasn't being a jerk. Wasn't trying to be I forget the name right now. But I just said never invest in something you don't understand. If you don't understand Bitcoin, don't do it. If you don't understand real estate, don't do it. Only invest in what you understand. Right? But there's lots of MLMs out there. There's one right now that it's teaching you how to do Bitcoin. You know, how long is that going to be around? Man, you get in. If you get in early, you can make a lot of money. There's an MLM that I belong to for buying silver. That's where I buy all my silver and my gold. I buy it from 7kmetals.com. Why would I join an MLM to buy silver when I can go down the street and buy silver? The reason is because I can buy it from these guys, from the refinery. I pay 0 commission, 0 shipping. So I can buy this through an MLM a lot cheaper than if I bought it down the street. So never invest in anything that you don't completely understand. I understand silver. I understand gold. That's why I buy this and not Bitcoin. All right. I understand real estate. I understand cars, and I understand guns, which is why I invest in those things. I don't invest in Bitcoin. I don't understand it. I think it's a fad. I think it's here to stay, but I think it's probably too late. Whenever the herd is getting into it, when your taxi driver or your hairdresser or your Facebook friend or the McDonald's person is telling you to get in, it's too late to get in. You should have got in 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Again, to recap, the people that won was Mark Osborne and Amy Frazier. Frazier won some silver. If you like the content, share the video and you'll be entered. Share the video, tag a friend, you'll be entered in tomorrow's drawing to win some silver. Never heard of Swiss Gold. I know there's another MLM out there called Karatbars, buying silver and buying gold. It's just, where do you think they get the commissions to pay out? They charge more for the gold. You can buy this on Karatbars. I can buy it through my MLM 7K Metals for about, today it's up to $17.40. You buy it from Karatbars, you probably pay $25, $8 markup. They got to get the commission somewhere. Stay away from lotions, potions, and pills. All right. You want to become financially free, get your credit fixed, get rid of your consumer debt. Understand this. Get this book today. Go to Amazon. If you got a Prime account, you'll probably have it Saturday. Get this book, read this book, understand this book. An employee, a specialist. Employees and specialists make up 90% of the workforce, and they're fighting over 10% of the money. Business owners and investors make up 10% of the workforce, and they have 90% of the money. Which one do you want to be on? What side? Can you be on all four? Yes. I'm an employee. Okay? I'm a W-2 employee for my company because the IRS says I have to be. Otherwise, I would not be a W-2 employee if I didn't have to. I am a specialist. I am a business owner. And I am an investor. I'm all four. Now, earlier I said that there's only 4 ways to make money. Is there any other way to make money? Employee, specialist, business owner, investor. Let's have fun here and let's ask. Is there any other way to make it? Rashawn says, got harassed by Karatbars rep. I tell him no. Markup made no sense. Exactly. I had some people blocking me and I won't even go into that. It was so retarded. Cash flow quadrant. Can you see that? Someone just said it's upside down. Someone texted me and said it's upside down. Is that better? Inheritance. Okay, Jason. How do you earn inheritance? There's only 4 ways to earn money. How do you earn it? Well, I guess you go kill somebody. You earned it that way, right? So inheritance, I'm going to say no. That doesn't qualify. Any other ways to earn money that's not here? Not get money, earn money. Sports betting. I would say sports betting, you could be a specialist, maybe a business owner if you own a casino, or an investor because you're investing. You're gambling. What if a drug dealer? That's usually when I do these seminars. People are like, drug dealers. No, they're a specialist, right? They're specializing. And they're a business owner. I mean, they are the definition. They buy product at a lower price, and then they sell it for a profit. They're also an investor because they buy it. A beggar would be a specialist because they specialize in begging. They're asking for money. That's their job. That is literally their job. They beg for money. They're trading time for dollars. If they don't go out and sit on the street corner and beg and trade in time, they're not going to get any money. There's only 4 ways to earn money. You're an employee, a specialist, a business owner, investor, or all 4. Or maybe these two or whatever. That's it. So if you want to get free, you need to move from this side, my friend, to that side. Now, can you move from this side to that side without quitting your job? Yeah. You take all the money as an employee and you put it over here and you put it down here. If you're a specialist, you take all the money you make minus your living expenses and you put it over here and you put it over here. Does that make sense? You want to stay broke. That's one of the reasons that Fortress is growing so fast right now. It's how we did 100% growth last year with no merchant account. For 4 months, we had no merchant account, no way to bill our clients, and yet we doubled in sales. How did we do that? I went 10 years by being broke. You stay broke. You save your money from this side You don't buy the new car. You don't lease the new car. You don't have the new clothes. You don't have the new everything. You save your money on this side. You put it over here. And eventually that crank is just going to crank 24/7. 24/7. When you're sleeping, this side's still working. You're no longer on this side. Maybe you still are on this side. Maybe you love your job. Maybe you love being a nurse. Take your money from being a nurse and you put it over here. But only invest it in something you understand. Don't just trust somebody because you're a family member of them, you're friends with them, you've known them a long time. Trust no one. Verify everything. If someone asks you for money to invest, say, great, let me see your credit report. Let me see your tax return. Let me see your balance statement. Let me see your marketing statement, your marketing plan, your business plan. I listened to a podcast the other day, and there was a guy that created an energy drink. He was the youngest kid to ever sell a company on the stock exchange. Like at 21 years old, he sold his company for hundreds of millions of dollars. He ran an online poker site, the only one that actually survived. And he said people ask him every day for money, and he says yes to everyone. Everyone. I had someone last week ask me for $1 million. Every week someone asked me for $100,000. Last week a guy asked me for $1 million. And we say yes to everyone. Yes to everyone. I want a marketing plan. I want a business plan. I want to see your credit report. I want to see a profit and loss statement. I want to see your balance sheet. I want to see everything, and everything's lined up, then we'll invest in your company. If it's not, we're not investing. And guess how many people actually provide that to me and this other dude? Big fat zero. So if you're going to invest in someone, get proof. I'm getting ready to hire someone for coaching. It's a lot of money. And I've already told him, I want to see your tax returns. I want to see your credit report. I want to see your balance statement. I want to see it all before I give you any money to invest with you, which is what you need to do. Don't invest in anything you don't understand, and don't invest in it because you like them or trust them. You want proof. You want verification that they're going to do it. And then you got to be prepared to lose the money. You should never invest money that you can't afford to lose. Because if you throw your life savings in there, you're hosed. Watch American Greed. People put all their life savings in with one dude, one girl, and then it's wiped out. That's not going to be you, right? All right, let's get your credit fixed. Let's increase your credit score. Let's get rid of your debt. I want you to have an amazing weekend. But don't just go out there and get drunk and just go through it. I want you to go out, create a business. Go get this book and read it. Go to Amazon and buy it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. Understand this. Do you know what else happens? These guys, 90%, guess who pays all the taxes in America? These guys, employees and specialists. That's who's paying all the taxes. Your real estate agents, your attorneys, your doctors, your mechanics, the school teachers, the firefighters, all the employees, 90% of the people over here are paying all the taxes. Guess how much these guys pay in taxes? They pay a lot of taxes, but percentage-wise, it's a lot less than these guys. Do they pay more taxes? Yes, because they make more money. But if you did percentage-wise, these guys over here, 50 to 70%. If you're a specialist, you're paying 50%, depending on how much money you make, but you're paying 50%. You know these guys, employee, your employee, do you know as a business owner and an investor, we don't have to pay Social Security. We don't have to pay Medicaid. We don't have to pay unemployment insurance. We don't have to pay workman's comp insurance. We don't pay any of that garbage. That's 20%. That you as an employee, you're paying that extra 20. Business owners, investors, they don't pay that 20%, which means they have 20% more money to reinvest. You want to go from here to there as fast as possible. I hope you enjoyed today. Share the video if you did. Have a good weekend.